It was the summer of 1961. Danny Callahan and I borrowed Eddie Bennett's 1958 BSA motorcycle for a nighttime joyride. I'm sure you remember Eddie's Bonneville. At this point in time, the bike was not registered. Up until then, it was listed and insured in my name because Eddie's father, Mr. Bennett, would not have been happy if he knew Eddie had a motorcycle. Based on rumors at the time, if you get my drift, I would not want Mr. Bennett pissed at me. Also, the bike had no lights and was no longer registered. Okay, you've probably already deduced that a few brewskis were involved. I think they were half and rough of GIQs in this adventure. So we enjoyed our illegal ride and were heading back to Dennis Vitale's garage where the bike was being stored. The bike had been chained up earlier, but we borrowed a hacksaw from McCaffrey Sunoco and made quick work of that. I vaguely remember Danny Dacco commenting, "I think this is going to end badly." Everything was fine until we approached a traffic light on a side street in Roslindale. Unfortunately, a Boston police car was facing us in the opposite direction. Both officers looked over, locked eyes with me, and I knew it was major decision time. Fight or flight. I chose flight. Baroom zoom. Off we went down the street. The cops had to turn around, so we had a pretty good head start. Unfortunately for us, there were two broken streetlights where the road made a 90-degree turn. Oh no! I realized that our speed was too excessive to make the bend. I downshifted and slammed on the front and rear brakes, but we still hit the corner curb at about 25 miles per hour. Screech, crunch, bang. I hazily remember hearing the sickening groans of metal being twisted beyond its limit. We both flew over the handlebars and, fortunately, landed on the front yard of the corner house. Ouch! Groaning and bloodied, we staggered to our feet and both managed to escape capture by cutting through backyards and finally making it home. Oh my God, the cops were going mental. Blue lights were blinking, an ambulance showed up, flashlight beams were probing the darkened yards, houses were lighting up, dogs were barking, cats were screeching, and people were shouting. What a commotion. I ended up first at our family doctor's house, Dr. Siegel, in Milton, then in the emergency room of the Faulkner Hospital, where I was admitted for a few days. Back then, most people had their doctor's home phone number and could contact them almost any time, day or night. I recall that Danny was also hospitalized overnight. Fortunately, nothing too serious, broken wrist, cuts, bruises, and a few stitches and scars. We both spun an elaborate story. We fabricated it while staggering along home about how we got into a fight in the alleyway behind the Oriental Theater. We were outnumbered 6-2, but we fought valiantly, and our parents actually bought it. If they only knew. Recently, I finally broke the 55-year code of silence and told my two sisters the story behind the story. They were both shocked, to say the least. "We thought you were a good boy." Well, we had to pay Eddie Bennett for the bike repairs, about $150. He was a good guy and didn't rat us out to the cops. He just claimed the bike had been stolen, which technically was true. He did not name us as the perpetrators, even though he did know the truth. I went by the crash site a few weeks later, and my shoes, my brand new Tom McCann mousetraps, were still on the front porch. Hey, just another one of many stories from our unsettled youth. Has the statute of limitations run out on this? Don't be so critical. I was an altar boy at St. Joe's, and Father Curran thought I was a righteous dude. Lesson learned. Want to know how much you are truly capable of? damage yourself and a good friend in a life and death scenario. I guess that the adrenaline always kicks in after you make viable acts of survival, in our case, escape. In the end, you grasp that you were much stronger and stupider than you think. It doesn't matter what it says on the police report, or the insurance papers, or what your friends and family say. All that counts is that you took a foolish chance and came out without any long-term damage. Oh well, just one more phase of growing up and learning who you truly are.